Is on the way. Life's so hard, these days, my friend. You can't get it something if you can't give away. In the streets, there's corruption. In private company, there's corruption. Everywhere, there's corruption. Some of us are corruption. Everywhere there's corruption. Something for something, nothing for nothing. Something for something, nothing for nothing. Something for something, nothing for nothing. Something for something. Nothing for nothing, 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 something for something. Nothing for nothing. Corruption, corruption. Corruption in the society. Corruption, corruption. Corruption in the society. Corruption, corruption. Corruption in the society.
Maswera sei muri Zimbabwe kumatima yomanya enyika kwese kwatiri. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome, a very big and warm welcome to everyone. Sorry. Admin, can you hear me? Did you say something?
Nobody said anything.
Go ahead.
Okay. Apologies for that, our listeners and viewers. We welcome you, a very warm welcome around the corners of the world, wherever we may be. It's a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome once again to our weekly edition of News Review, where we take a look at the topics that made the headlines on Change Radio News over the past week. Today, we have a special panel where we are joined by Mr. Dina, who is the NAP DMV branch interim or caretaker vice chairperson, who is here to talk to us about a very interesting topic. So stay tuned, stay with us. We also have Advocate Masia, who is the caretaker branch chairperson of the Texas NAP branch. He is also here to talk about a very special and something exciting that has happened in Texas this past week. But before we go into that, I just want to welcome you all. My name is Sophia Tekwani, and give a chance to all the panelists to greet the viewers. We'll start with you, DJ Prof.
Salibonani mahlabezulu. Salibonani tokazi omuhle. Ninjani kona lapho ezindawo zishene lingabo kuzo isusuthi nofara makadini maskati mangwanani manheru kungabe kwese kwamuri tinoziva kuti maZimbabwe makatekeshera pachisirose mchani metifamba ndinonzi DJ Prof sezvataurwa na DJ Sophie pano. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Mukanya, tokumbirawo mukwazise vateereri nevatariri.
Thank you, Champion Sophie. Makadi muri Zimbabwe yakateerera. Thank you. We welcome you to this special edition, this special program. Please share this video so that as many people as possible will come and join us.
Thank you so much. Mr. Dina, would you care to greet the viewers?
Thank you very much, Leader Sophie. Zokumhoresai mose vana veZimbabwe sezvataurwa kuti takatekeshera wherever we are tinokukwazisai. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be here on this special program.
Thank you so much. And Advocate Masie, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. Greetings, Zimbabwe. My name is Kennedy Masie, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for joining the program. That's all.
Thank you for now. That is all for now.
Yes.
And finally, our admin in the background. I'm not sure if it's Leader Tarisa or Leader Estela. Would you like to greet the viewers? Our technical in the background.
Oh, thank you, Champion Sophia. Warm welcome to this week's episode of News Review, our viewers and listeners. We have an exciting lineup of stories to go through. Thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned with us. Back to you.
Thank you, Champion Estela. Right, we will be talking about the corrupt deal that the city of Harare, it's just been exposed, that the city of Harare has gotten all of us into. We'll be talking about half of Zimbabwe's population living below the poverty datum line. We're also going to be talking about the bumper crowd that went out to greet and celebrate with President Chamisa in Gweru over this past week. And we're also going to be looking at the Rwanda genocide, the genocide perpetrator in Rwanda who was being hidden in Zimbabwe by the illegitimate and corrupt regime. Maybe let's go straight into it. Mr. Dina, would you care to take us through this corrupt deal that we're seeing happening at the city of Harare? You're on mute, Mr. Dina.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, I want to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'll run through this deal that was entered between the city of Harare and the Genex BAV, the Netherlands-based company that is funded by no other than Nguaya. If I can take you a little bit back to the time of COVID-19, you know what happens to the COVID funds and who was behind it. It was Nguaya. And you see the same name appearing. So this deal was entered the next government was Nguaya. And as we all know, anything that exceeds $1 million US dollars contract should go through tender process. And if you want to look back, the city of Harare did float some tenders, but when they did the last one for it was only 3 companies which responded to the tender. And then before the tender, it was learned that the city of Harare have had a memorandum of understanding with this company, the Geogenex already, and nobody knows where it was coming from. And then if you go deep again into this contract, it is allegedly that the Minister of Local Government, July Moyo, directed the local authority to award this tender. And if you look at this tender, it's about 120 million tender, of which they get about 14.6 million yearly, and it is a 30-year contract. And this money is not going to be paid in RTGS. This deal, the money that the city of Harare is going to pay this company, they are going to pay it only in US dollars. And also, if it happens that this contract is cancelled, without doing anything, this company will get about 3.5 million US dollars for the city council to terminate this contract. So actually the deal was given for free. And that deal doesn't only involves Delishu Ngwaya, it also involves the son of none other than ED. His son is also involved in this company. So what happened is, when there was the recall of councillors were recalled, and we have the acting mayor who was Chuat Mtizwa. So at that time, they fast-tracked the signing of this contract. So the council, it was not a full council. It was not a full council. So some of these things, they were just forced by the minister to say, sign off this deal. So that is what happened. So if you want to go deep now, this company, the Geogenics company, it is the same company from Albania. It is the same company from Albania. And if you look, it doesn't have a web address. It doesn't have an email. What it's only got is only a physical address. Basically, what I'm trying to say, it is a briefcase company. And this same company also tried to get a deal in Albania for the same type of business of turning waste into energy. And what happened there, they also didn't go to tender. They were just again given the deal, and they were even given a percentage for them to put through their tender. It's like they were even paid to go through the tender process. So what happened, they were given the tender, and the residents of that in Albania, they knew about it. What happened, there were some protests in the streets, and the president of that company fired about 14 ministers. And also this company is now blacklisted in Albania. So what's really happening now is that the city of Harare is paying about $22,000 a day. And this deal, the one thing that stings about it is, even if the city council doesn't have to send any refuse to Pomona deal, it's like the city council is paying them to take the refuse. So the city council give them the refuse for free, and they take that refuse, they sort it out into different renewable energy. They take the scrap metal and all that kind of stuff for free. If they fail to do that, they still have to pay. So the agreement is like, regardless they bring any refuse, they still have to pay.
So these guys are being paid to do nothing, or rather they're getting payment even if they don't work.
Yes, even if the council don't deliver any refuse, they are still going to pay. This money that they have to pay every month is like to say, in each and every month, regardless of the tonnage that you brings in, if it brings 0 tonnage, they will get 4.6 million. Regardless.
I just want Zimbabweans to understand, and that to sink in, that this company is being paid to make money off their waste, number one.
Yes.
They're not buying the waste, they're being paid so that they make money off the waste of Harare citizens. Number two, even if they don't collect any rubbish, they're getting paid 12.6 million, 14.6 million per year for the next 30 years.
Yes, for the next 30 years. So,
and number three, that if for any reason the city of Harare does not pay them in US dollars, they continue, the contract extends, and they still need to pay. So it's actually the city of Harare citizens who are paying these guys but they're paying in RTGS, but the company is being paid in US dollars.
The city council, what it means is the city council, you have to source for Forex. The city council, you have to source for Forex to pay Geogenics. They don't pay in RTGS, no. The deal is they are going to pay in US dollars, in hard currency. That's it. So what's going to happen is it's going to affect service delivery. And even if you look right now, if you check a few days ago, the city council posted that they've procured some tippers for refuse collection. And I was asking myself to say, why did they go on and buy refuse trucks when there are refuse trucks that are there? Why did they buy tippers for refuse while there are refuse trucks? What it simply means is these trucks are meant to save this new company. It's not for the residents. Because if it was for the residents, the city council was going to buy refuse trucks so that people can take on the garbage, put it on the door, and then the refuse truck comes and collects. And simply what they did is they're encouraging residents to go out and dump their garbage so that the tippers will come and take that garbage. And when the tippers come, they'll go and save KGNX. So these trucks, they were bought not in the interest of citizens. And if you look back, already in the city council last year, they had a deal to buy the refuse trucks, and they lost about 1.8 million from a company which actually supplied the wrong trucks of wrong specifications. And this money has not been recovered. And if you go deep again, you will see that that same company, it is still doing business with council.
There's been no reprimand. They delivered the spec and they're still doing business with the city of Harare. So it's the citizens who are still paying them anyway. The residents are still paying. At the moment, there's 1.8 million that was lost in those trucks. 1.8 million, and the same company is still doing business with council. It is still giving services to council, and they're still paying. Instead of them going back and recovering the 1.8 million and actually struck off this company from their books, but the company still trades with them. But so there we go, citizens. I mean, in Albania, there were protests that they want these people out. Now, are we going to fold our hands as Zimbabweans and watch this happen and continue to let them suck the life out of us? Or we're also going to do the right thing and protest against this blatant corruption that is going on at the city of Harare?
The worrying thing is in Zimbabwe, there is no communications. Residents, they don't know about this deal. Residents are actually celebrating that to say the council have bought refuse trucks, tippers. They're going to remove the garbage. They don't have to now, instead of them asking themselves to say, why are they buying tippers? How are they going to save us as residents? Are tippers going to go within the suburbs and collect the garbage? How are we going to put the garbage in the tipper? We have got 90-year-old residents in Harare. How are they going to throw that garbage into the tipper truck? So if you see that, now residents will go back and say, we have lost already 1.8 million. And now we are going to lose again. Because if you look at this figure, it's about $22 a day, 22,000 US dollars. That is going to be paid a day. And who is going to pay for that? And is this money budgeted for?
All right, just to add on to that, Champion Sophia, I think Zimbabweans need to know that this deal was struck when Mayor Mafume, he had been fired, and most of our councillors were not in office. So it was a very deliberate move by the Minister of Local Government. This deal was shoved into the remaining councillors who could not veto it. they were outnumbered by the Monzora and ZANU-PF councillors. So it was very tactical that they pushed it when Mayor Mafume, was fighting, those trumped up corruption charges. And then Zimbabweans also need to know who Nguwaya is. This is an ex-convict, an armed robber, who actually served. And he's the same guy, like Mr. Dina said, who was involved in the COVID funds. And the Kanban that is involved, the Netherlands Kanban that is involved, we checked it up with Simba Chikanza. It doesn't exist in the register of companies. You don't even see anything about it. So it's the same thing that he did on the COVID deal, that they just come up with a briefcase Kanban, and they say that these are investors that are coming in. That Kanban is not bringing in any money. It's not bringing in any capital. In fact, the people of Zimbabwe are paying Nguwaya so that this deal can go through. They are saying there's $350 million that was invested by this Kanban. Where is that money if this Kanban invested it? What is the money being used for? It's nobody can explain that. So what we know is this Kanban is just a briefcase Kanban. There's nothing. The money is actually coming from us Zimbabweans. From my sources, I actually know that it's $40,000 a day that the city council is supposed to be paying Nguwaya. So in other words, we are paying Nguwaya so that we can dump refuse at our own dumping site. And then we pay him for processing it. And then eventually, Nguwaya also has the right to sell the produced electricity, because he's actually going to be producing electricity. You then sell that electricity to ZESA and to everyone else. So this is a man who is being paid double, if not 3 times, paid to dump, paid to process, and then whatever comes out of there, the electricity that is generated from there is also sold. So Zimbabweans, this is just daylight robbery. We cannot allow things like this to go on. We need more noise. We need more education. We need to be talking about this. This needs to be a topical topic that is discussed on social media, on Twitter Spaces, on Facebook. Let's produce posters so that the people in Harare know exactly what is going on. Why are we giving an ex-convict, such, mega deals? And like Mr. Dina said, it never went to tender. It never went to tender. He was just awarded. And of course, we know who Nguwaya is fronting. He is fronting the twins. He is fronting Emerson Mnangagwa's children. And this is just, so wrong. We cannot allow something like this to go on. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Delish Nguwaya is really bad news. I remember he was exposed for who he really was, besides being the armed robber. After he came out of prison, he was a volunteer, a constabulary at Maybarain police station. And he was notorious there for corruption. If you ask people in Maybarain, they know who Nguwaya is, because he would actually knock on doors and, just corrupt to the core. But actually fronting the Mnangagwa twins, Andrew Flores, you're quite right there, that the first family is also a part of this indeed. This is why he can rub shoulders with Auxilia Mnangagwa, because he knows where who's got his back, he knows who is supporting him. But we need to put a stop to this. Now that people know this is out in the open, spread and talk about it. Let everyone know about this corrupt deal and these corrupt people and what they are doing to the lives of innocent Zimbabweans. Thank you so much, Mr. Dina, for that very informative piece of information. It's quite disheartening, I must say, but it's very good and important information. Thank you so much. Right, moving on, we want to talk about the bumper crowd that was in Gweru as President Chamisa was thanking the citizens for an overwhelming success and results in the just ended by-elections. Chief, would you just like to take us through that?
Yes, it is always good to give thanks. Even the Bible says that you should give thanks. The citizens came through. The citizens came in thousands and voted overwhelmingly on the 26 March by-elections and also on the 7 May by-elections. In both by-elections, Triple C performed more than anyone would have expected. Even ZANU-PF were shocked, vakatopinda magumbeze nebhutsu, because they were not expecting the new party, the new baby, to perform the way it performed. They'd done everything, they tried everything to ensure that we do not win, but we won. So President Chamisa had a rally in Gweru, organized by the chief organizing secretary, chief champion in organizing, Honorable Chibaya, one of the most hardworking leaders that we had. And it was a sellout crowd, a bamba crowd. So we want to thank Zimbabweans that made that possible, because I know Honorable Chibaya got a lot of help from people in the diaspora that made that event a success. Thank you so much as Change Radio and ZimEye. We want to take this opportunity to thank the citizens that voted in those by-elections, and for everyone who contributed, because I know Zimbabweans in the diaspora did a lot. They fundraised. I know at one time there are people that went for 4 days, 4 nights actually, without sleeping, fundraising on Twitter Spaces, so that we could be able to support our polling agents and also, get regalia and other election day expenses, were taken care of using that money. So thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate you. Now, let's get ready for 2023.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And in that same vein of being thankful and celebrating Advocate Masia and the Texas branch, Advocate Masia, who is the caretaker branch chairperson for Texas, I know you held a successful event, just gearing up and amplifying the Triple C in Texas. Would you like to take us through and tell us what happened there?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, Texas branch held a successful sports day like last weekend, and this is one of the programs, or one of the events that we in Texas have crafted and put down in order to have the party visible here in the diaspora. As you know, Texas is one of the biggest state with the largest population of Zimbabweans. So as the CCC caretaker executive, we have come down, crafted a plan for us to become visible, and also for us to continue to up the drive for new members to join the party, and of course making sure that we have adequate sources of places or people who we can approach to crowd fund or fundraise for party activities. So yes, the weekend was a weekend of excitement. As you can see from the videos, people were happy. People had the opportunity to network. We had a lot of meat. I just wish you were there. We had a lot of meat with sadza. We had people selling, African dresses. We're also selling regalia, and we had a lot of new faces that I actually saw on the day. And after this event, people were so excited that they said that we need to continue doing these activities. We need to continue to engage our Zimbabwean population here in the diaspora. People need to get out. People need to network. People need to talk about what's happening in Zimbabwe. People need to participate in what's happening in Zimbabwe and getting information from from us, the interim leaders, on how best we can craft strategies to help our political party back home. And as you may know, a couple of weeks ago, we also had a dinner. The dinner was also a success. Surprised by the turnout. People came out and people had fun. We networked and we made new friends. And as Texas, we want to continue to do this. We want to continue to have new friends. We want to continue to penetrate into those spaces which have not been penetrated before. And I can tell you that by the year ends, I can tell you CCC will be the biggest thing here in Texas, including other people from other nations will be talking about Triple C here in Texas. So with that, I can say the excitement is real, the excitement is there, and the excitement will remain. And we are the CCC Texas here in the United States, and we're going to make sure that the party is visible, party programs are visible, and our cry for democracy and respect of the rule of law in Zimbabwe is known to the world. So with that, I'll say I'll just leave it there for now.
Thank you so much. And to you, we say a big congratulations on the successful event. And we look forward to seeing more from you and from other external assemblies and branches as well. But thank you for taking the lead. I think we saw the video a few weeks ago of your dinner dance. I must say, you know what, everyone saw that and all the external branches wanted to do the same. So we just want to thank you for leading the way. This, I mean, it's a new great Zimbabwe loading. Everyone is excited, and let's all do this together. Let's all bring change to Zimbabwe. Let's all see in and usher in the new great Zimbabwe. Henry Musikavano there says, Ngapi ndake Mkomana chaye. Yeah, Henry, sure, Ngapi ndake Mkomana chaye. Right, anyway, moving on. I'm not sure if our admin has the state media video, but if you can get that ready for us, we can just share with the viewers of what people are thinking about the media situation in Zimbabwe. We can share that with the viewers. But before we go to that, DJ Prof, can I ask you to take us through a topic that is quite sad? Suisa, about the situation back home in Zimbabwe. Currently, half of the Zimbabwean population living under the poverty datum line. Advocate Masia, I'm also going to ask you just to put in your 2 cents there for a bit after DJ Prof. We've got 3.5 million Zimbabweans who are living chronically hungry. That means havatorina chikafu, varikubika mapopo, varikubika majanje. 3.5 million Zimbabweans. The cost of living for a family of 5, according to the Consumer Council of Zimbabwe, has gone up to 120,000 Zim dollars per month. Not even teachers are getting that money. Not even teachers are getting that money. And we continue to see the cooking oil shortages happening in Zimbabwe. Messages going around, this is a reality. Hakuna mafuta, hakuna mari, this is a reality. 3.5 million people who are cooking pawpaws, wild fruits to survive at the moment. You only wonder, by the time the year ends, what will they be doing? What will they be eating? DJ Prof, take it away.
Yes, thank you so much, Champion Sophia. To start with, just to be honest, it's not half of Zimbabwe. It's actually more than half of the people. It's actually 74% of the Zimbabwean population of 14 million is living under the Poverty Datum Line, actually, it's saying, in other words, not speaking in terms of economics, people are starving, people are hungry. Zimbabwe is at hunger. It's a hungry country as we speak, thanks to Emerson Mnangagwa and his government, thanks to mismanagement of economy in Zimbabwe, thanks to the corruption of ZANU-PF and its all surrogates around dotted in the world and in Zimbabwe. So if you look at the inflation that Zimbabwe is running through now, if you look at in February of this year, the price, when we speak in terms of economics, the consumer price index was staggering at 2,000 something per person. But if you look at it now, we are around May. It's almost 6,000. And remember, the former Minister of Finance, Honorable Tendai Biti, predicted that by the time that Zimbabwe will get to June of this year, will be heading towards 1,000% inflation rate. Actually, he was even what can I say? He was even being merciful to his word at that time, because as we are speaking, we are almost, before even we get June, we are almost there to that percentage. So you see, like I said earlier on, that it's not half of the Zimbabweans who are living under the poverty datum line. It's 74.6% of the people in Zimbabwe who are living with or under $1.60 per day. So imagine in a country where the Minister of Finance, the so-called Minister of Finance, I'm sorry, I don't regard him as the Minister of Finance, the Mtuli of the Nubes, is always coming out and say Zimbabwe is making progress, Zimbabwe is making profit, but we do not see where the profit is going. However, it has been shown from our first presentation, I think, or first or second presentation, that we had Danish Ngwaya is doing the catalyst for how they're spending their money. 22,000, some people are saying 40,000 US dollars per day is paid to one person. What is he being paid for? For being paid to carry our garbage, to go and drop them where? Not in South Africa, not in Mozambique, not in Zambia, but drop them in a land that is in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is paying for its land to drop its garbage on its land. That's why we are in this situation. Like I said, thanks to mismanagement of the country, thanks to the government of ZANU-PF, thanks to the people who doesn't know how economics works in Zimbabwe. I thank you.
This is a staggering reality. 74.6%, 75% of the population in Zimbabwe under hunger at the moment. 3/4 of Zimbabweans are starving. Dr. Masiye.
Yeah, it's quite sad. We have an unethical government, unscrupulous, unprincipled, and it's so sad that we have almost the whole population suffering like that. People are hungry, people are dying, and to me, I can say that this is a slow genocide that we are witnessing in Zimbabwe. As you know, economic rights are human rights. They are recognized internationally. They're also recognized by our constitution. So if we have half of the population suffering like that, getting to the 70s, people being denied food or access to economic to the economic benefits, then basically we have a government that is committing genocide on its own people. And one thing that we have right now is that we have a government that is illegitimate to start with. They stole the elections. They went into governance, tried to rig the economy, but the economy cannot be rigged. Cannot rig the confidence of people in governance. And also, we know that the government has got rampant corruption allegations, and some of the corruption that we actually seen ourselves. The likes of the deal that we're witnessing right now in Harare, which is basically a deal that's unconscionable. It actually induces a sense of shock. And at law, we say that a contract like that one is contrary to public policy. And a contract that is contrary to public policy basically is unenforceable. It's not a contract at all. It should not even be recognized by anyone because it's unconscionable. It induces a sense of shock. It is contrary to public policy. And what we are witnessing right now, going back to the issue of the starvation and the poverty datum line, it's an act that is contrary. It actually defies a sense of logic. And also the government not even talking about it, not even accepting that there's something like that, also shows how serious this government is in perpetuating human rights violations and impunity amongst its own citizens. So this is so sad that we have a lot of people suffering and getting to the 70s of people who cannot afford basic food. Like food, simple food, a meal, and people are dying. People are dying. We're not just talking about people living. When we're talking about people living below the poverty datum line, we're talking about a multifaceted violation of rights. If we're talking about people being denied food, those rights are intertwined. You're talking about people being denied food, people being denied medical health, people being denied, civil liberties and so forth, because of because they cannot afford to actually, take care of themselves. So it's so sad. It's so sad, and I just wish, people could come out, and really air out their frustrations through various means. I know there are ways of showing your disagreement, and one way I can tell you right now that can be very useful in the future is to go and register to vote. People need to go and register to vote and kick out this government, which does not care about people. People need to come out and demonstrate against such unconscionable, serious and sad reality that we are suffering right now. And that's all I can say for now. But this shows that we do not have a government in Zimbabwe. If there is a government, it's just a government of few individuals. It's a cartel that benefits a few individuals. How can you explain that someone is held with a couple of kgs of gold at an airport, and that person just walks scot-free, and that couple of kgs of gold can go and erect an institution, medical institution somewhere in Chundu, in Hurungwe there, where people can benefit, and live their life comfortably. And the government just keeps turns their back and folds their arms and make such corrupt activities continue unabated. It's so sad. It's so sad, and it's a sad reality that we need to really address through various means. As I said, people need to go and register to vote, and exercise their fundamental right to vote. Using the ballot. That's all I can say for now.
Absolutely. My takeouts there, Advocate Masia. I just wanted to find out, just to pick your brain a little bit for a few seconds.
Champion Sophie, there's someone who just called us from Plumtree who is listening on Change Radio. She just wants to come in and say a few things. Nekutambura kuita vanhu nyaya prizes and so forth. Makadi zvenyu mama taurai zvenyu mapinda pachirongwa.
Tiri pedu makadiwo tinotenda nekuteerera Change Radio. Makadi henyu Mkoba.
Mati muri ku Plumtree zviya?
Tiri ku Plumtree.
Uyakhuluma yini?
Ngiyakhuluma.
Khulumani.
Mina ngikukhuluma nama-prices. Hayi ama-prices sekhwele kakhulu okokuthi even asakwanisi even ukuthi sikwanise ukuyothenga izinto emashop. Kukhwela everyday okokuthi siyaswela ukuthi sizaphila njani lapha eZimbabwe. Nema-prices akhwela khona. Akula muntu ongacontrol i-price. Umuntu nomuntu uyazikwezela nendlela yakhe afunayo. Avuke ekwezile angafuna ukuthi ethi lokhu senza malini akula muntu ongamyalisa. So sesisele ukuthi sure sizaphila njani nxa ama-prices continue ekhwela. So nxa ekhwela kathesi what more sizaya phambili kuyabe sesinjani sabe singasakwanisi ukuthi sithenge sibili abantu sibona vela ukuthi sizakufa nendlela khonapha eZimbabwe nendlela ama-prices akhwela ngayo emashop nendlela ama-prices akhwela ngayo izinto zeZimbabwe asakwanisi ukuthi si-afford kwazi ukuthi kuzahamba njani sibili kodwa kunzima sibili.
But zvinhu muri kuzviwana here mumashopu uye zvakanyanya kukwira zvakadii masvondo akapfuura iwayo?
Zvinhu zviri kuwanikwa asi makwiriro acho hazvaita ka iwe wega ukwanise kana kunozvitenga zviri kuwanikwa but zvimwe zvacho hazvichatowanikwa asi makwiriro acho hazviri kutoita unotopedzisira usakwanise kuzvitenga zvinhu zvacho especially chikafu chaicho chino chokudya tingataura hedu zvimwe zvembatya but chikafu chacho chinoraramisa vanhu ndicho chiri kutokwira zvokuti asi kwazi kuti tizaphila njani nendlela zvinhu zvinokwanisa kupera nazvo.
Wow. Champion Sophie, do you want to ask a question before we let her go?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, my sister, for that. You know what? It's always good to talk to and hear from someone who is on the ground, which is exactly what is happening. I just wanted to ask from you, you know, Buruku Plumtree, you're right close to the border. Nick Mangwana announced a few days ago that people can now import things duty-free, soaps, sugar, milk, things like that. I just wanted to find out from you, since you're at the Nepal border, have you seen the impact of that? Because these things, these groceries can now come into the country duty-free. Is there been an improvement?
Lingakuluma.
Ukuthi uyothenga outside indawo bathi ukuhamba kwangkhona khonapho ukuthi uhambe uyothenga kwangkhona ukuthi sibesa usahamba sabona kuyayenza yini asikahambi but kunzima futhi still ukuthi uhambe uyothenga kwa-another country ukuthi uzofikise ngakho la transport yangikhona ikuthwala ukuthi konke kufuna imali yangikhona yona futhi kungaba easy ukuthi siyothenga but kunzima uswele imali ukuthi uthathe i-transport uhambe uyothenga khona ngalezinto ubuya nazo la.
Well, thank you very much. That was one of our Change Radio listeners calling from Plumtree. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate you. Back to you, Champion Sophie.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Gina is still there, so maybe you might want to come in.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Chief. I wanted to add something as well to say this deal, the Pomona deal, it's already now in full force. And I think it was last week, when the council tried to deliver some refuse trucks, they didn't have money and the trucks were sent back. And this company, it only wants US dollars. So the council was asking them to say, what if we pay in the RTGS, but then we use the auction? They refused. So they only want US dollars. And when you come with your truck to dump the refuse, you must bring cash, US dollars. So the trucks last time they were returned. Now I don't know where are they now dumping. If they don't have money, where are they gonna dump that refuse? Thank you.
So this is us ordinary citizens. How much more can we take? How much more life can we have sucked out of us? This blatant corruption, blatant thievery going on in broad daylight. I think, guys, you know what? We need to wake up and do something about it. We
Yeah,
really
it's
need
very
to do something about it.
yes, it's very sad. And if you look at that Pomona dump site belongs to the city of Harare.
Mm.
It belongs to the city of Harare, but now these guys have come in and they just took over the dump site, and they've put a fence around it. Now they are the ones who control everything. For you to bring your truck for refuse, burn up front. And what happens is everything that they're gonna get, even the power they want to generate, when they feed it into the grid, they are going again to charge the city council. And I believe they will charge them in US dollars. Because if it's a company, why they? This is Zimbabwe. Why are they saying that they must pay in US dollars when they know that our local currency is the RTGS? And then council, their source of income is from the residents, right? And residents, they pay in the RTGS. And then you are asking the council to say, council now must pay in US dollars. And there was I don't think there's any arrangement with the Reserve Bank to make sure that they avail some funds so that refuse can be collected and be thrown there at Pomona dump site. So it's meant to make sure that service delivery when it comes to refuse collection in Harare collapse. And who is to blame? Again, is the opposition.
It's planned, it's all well orchestrated by the illegitimate government. But coming back to you, Advocate Masia, you mentioned something when you were talking that, this sort of contract, it's almost illegal, and something can be done about it from a legal perspective. What can be done for this thing to be cancelled and maybe corrected?
Oh yes, boss. I'll be honest. I haven't had the chance to really go through the contract itself, but from what I hear, and from the figures that I've been told, it actually borders on being contrary to public policy. So there's a principle at contract law that says that if there's a clause within a contract that defies the sense of logic, and that is contrary to whatever a sensible thing that could have come out of that contract, then that particular clause cannot be enforced. Because if you look at that, I don't know how the amount that is being floated around in the contract came about, but to me it looks like it's an exorbitant amount. And from my colleague who talked just about the deal, it seems like there are also some flaws on how the tender was floated around, and so there's some illegality there that actually brought the contract into existence. So those are some of the things that can then be looked into and be brought to court. But now one other issue that needs to come into play is to who exactly signed the contract, and what are they doing about it? Because if the city of Harare wants to abide by the contract, it say that they went there, they wanted to dump, whatever they wanted to dump, and they were, told to come back. It seems like we might not be getting all the information that we need to be knowing right now, because we need to know the position of the council. We need to know the current position of the council, like what's the position pertaining to that particular contract. I know they've been talked about, of course, the contract was signed, by previous, councillors and whatever the case may be. But we now want to know the way forward. Like, what are we doing? Are we saying, if we're saying that there were legal corners that were cut for this contract to come into existence, that should be the basis of challenging the existence of that contract again. And secondly, we look at the contents of that contract. The contents of that contract, these are inducing the sense of shock in everyone who is hearing about it. So basically, if we're talking about public policy, we're talking about the people, the citizens, the beneficiaries of that deal, right? And the beneficiaries of that deal are Harare citizens. So if Harare citizens are saying, Adidi, that is the literal face that the law says, it defies the sense of logic, right? It defies, it goes against public policy. It's at Latin we say it's contra Boris Morris. So basically that's how the contract is viewed and can be challenged. So that's what we want to hear from the city of Harare right now. Let's challenge this deal in court, and let's not keep on talking about it as if it cannot be challenged. Let's hear them talking in court. Let's hear the lawyers being given instructions and challenging those particular provisions. No contract is cast in stone. Nothing is cast in stone. It's a piece of paper, for God's sake. And you cannot say it cannot be changed. Terms can be changed tomorrow. Contracts can be breached, right? So it's something that we need to start talking about. It can be cancelled. It can be cancelled. Chadi, and then you pay the damages, whatever the case may be. But I'm saying, Guti, I haven't read the contracts and I haven't read the penalty provisions. But if the penalty provision is less expensive than continuing with the deal, basically kungoti akumana atichadi nezvecontract yenyu takuibvarura chibvai panzvimbo iyoyo takucontracta someone else. If there are any penalties, tokupai cash yenyu murova pasi. Right. So basically that's what we need to continue. That's what we need to hear from the council, because we cannot continue talking about it does not make sense. And thousands of dollars every day on our land. Yeah, you talk by our land, talk by our properties, then you charge us. That doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's something that I myself, talking as a layperson, not talking as a lawyer, talking as a layperson, would say this is rubbish. So excuse my language. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the contract. I have the contract with me here. I'm sure you're going to find a lot of loopholes. It's and then from there we can have another program again, and then decide as citizens what we can do. Can't we, as citizens, do something? Do we have to wait for the city council? Can't citizens just challenge that decision, in court?
So, Chief, can I come in there? At the moment, there is a court case that the Member of Parliament, Markham, is the one we have. I think they've filed their court papers, and so it's the Resident Association of Zimbabwe of Harare and Borodo residents. Yes, there is a court case. So I think it will make more weight if everybody participates. And also there was a petition that I did send on the platform, I think, where people could also sign and show their displeasure of this embarrassing deal. So I think that is what is happening at the moment. So we are still waiting now to see what is going to happen. But if you look at this deal, when it was actually, it never went to tender. Already it's against the regulations of PRAS. And then, but the tricky part about it, even if this deal is cancelled, Goa is going to walk out 3.5 million rich. So already, even the deal is cancelled, they will pocket 3.5.
Yeah, but it's better than losing $40,000 a day and then giving him the annual fees that he's supposed to be paid, and then allowing him again to benefit by selling the electricity that is being generated from there.
Yes, but now my thing was, I think for now, even that 3.5 million, Chief, these are the residents who are going to pay, who had nothing to do with this deal. So I think there should be another way to say who is going to pay that 3.5. Because somebody entered in that deal knowing even if it doesn't work or it work, they will still get 3.5. Yeah, so we are already robbed. But now is the due to say who is going to pay, and somebody must pay.
But I think, Chief, you must, like you said, you must have another session for this. I think a lot of and you need to involve the citizens. A lot of people have got a lot of question to this, and I'm seeing, like, I'm just thinking in the background for the people we are giving this information. Some of them, I think, looking even at us, we are knocking ourselves our head to say, but what, who, when, how could that be happening? So like you said to Dr. Masi, is that you just need to speak to him after seeing the contract, and then we come, maybe we have a platform to say, like our listeners who was in Plumtree there, to say, please, this is the call, can you contribute, let's hear your voice and stuff, because a lot of people have got a lot of questions that need to be answered, or a lot of people have contribution. I'm not saying the program must be you answering questions, but to hear what are the views from the people. I think that will work.
Yeah, we'll take it up. Advocate Masia, I just send you the contract. You can have a look at it, and then we'll talk about it and have a program, and see what course of action we can take.
Yeah, I think it is a program in itself. But moving on and tying up the poverty, Zimbabweans, 75% of Zimbabweans living under the poverty datum line. I am struck by what Advocate Masie and Mr. Dina described it as. They described it as slow genocide, slow killing of citizens. And we had a genocide perpetrator who was being hidden by the current and previous regime in Zimbabwe, Proteus Mpiranya of Rwanda, who was guilty of the massacre of thousands of Rwandese during the Rwandan genocide. Only being discovered that he was being hidden, he was living safely in Zimbabwe. And there he is over there, living safely in Zimbabwe until he passed on. So, how can we then trust our government to stand for human rights and for the good of its citizens when they are actually harboring genocide, perpetrators, killers who are wanted by the International Criminal Court? I don't know. Does any of our panelists have anything to say about Proteus Mpiranya, the Rwandese genocidaire who was being kept in Zimbabwe with the full knowledge of the authorities?
I can chip on that one. So basically, what this shows is the face of the government that we have today. It's a government that does not care about fundamental human rights, whether they're happening within Zimbabwe or anywhere else on earth. Because this person was known by the government that he was in Zimbabwe. They knew that this person was wanted for the genocide that happened in Rwanda. And there were trials that happened in Rwanda. And he absconded those trials and found safe haven in Zimbabwe. This shows us that the government is a government that we have already known that they don't respect human rights. Genocide is a crime against humanity. And we have always said that in Zimbabwe, we have been subjected to genocide before. We have Gukurahundi that happened in the 80s. We have the killings that happened in the 2008. We've got women who have been raped by soldiers. And yet, there's been no reparations. There have been no investigations. there's been no truth and reconciliation to address those issues. Why? Because this current government does not believe in human rights. So it wouldn't surprise anyone that this person who killed thousands of people in Rwanda would find safe haven in Zimbabwe. And the Zimbabwean government has been interviewed, and they have denied that they knew the existence of this person in Zimbabwe. But there are reports that this person was once carried in an official government helicopter some time ago, getting into Zimbabwe from somewhere. There is evidence to that. We've got Mengistu, who was happily in Zimbabwe, living in Zimbabwe, helping ZANU-PF, strategize against the opposition. This is the type of government that we have today. So this is just an opening eyes that have been already opened to just see to the extent this government can go in violating rights of other citizens from another country, not their own. Rwandese were deprived of justice. They were deprived of closure. They were deprived of knowing the truth of what happened during the genocide from this person's mouth. Until Atos Ofiram Zimbabwe, this person was supposed to be arrested. He was supposed to be tried. He was supposed to see the victims of genocide. But the Zimbabwean government denied those victims the right to that, right, to find justice. This is the extent to which this current government can go. And I hope some citizens who are still warming up to ZANU-PF and this current government will see to what extent they can go. And I'm surprised, and I'm actually curious to know what the diplomatic relationships between Zimbabwe and Rwanda will be after this exposure. So that is my contribution in regards to this story.
Yeah, I don't think we can take anything away or add anything there. But a really, really sad and worrying trend that the government of Zimbabwe is showing. Right, but moving on, I think we just have two last small topics to talk about before the big one, the big Manchester City. Have I gotten it right this time? chimbogadzirai BP dzikembijana tombooneswa video. Pane a small video that our technical team at the background want to show us. Is it ready?
Leave the seat away.
Yeah, I think just let me know if it's not the right one. Yeah,
unoona iyoyo rutizo tingazvipurizira sei kuvanhu ndozve panofanira kuti pashande vana ZBC, but nenyaya yekuti iyo zvinezvi hakuna chokwadi chauchanzwa paZBC, nokuti iyo zvinotonzwa kuti zvimadhara zviri kumusha zvakangwara zviya zviya unonzwa totaura kuti radio manyepo, nokuti vanoziva kuti hakuna chokwadi chinobudiswa paZBC. Inofanira kunge iri broadcasting corporation yestate yokuti zvese ikabve zvese zvinoitika munyika. Mapolitical parties ese anenge da kupresenta nyaya dzavo kana kukampena vanofanira kunge vachienda paTV paya vachinopresenta. Ukatarisa kuna South Africa una vana Malema veopposition party EFF, vana Muisimani veDA, iyo inotonga yacho yeANC, unoona vachibuda paETV paSABC. Asi manje medu munomu kana watoona ZBC unoona vana Matema Madanda, vana Chris Mutsvangwa, iyo vana Mnangagwa ivavo, aufa wakaona President Chamisa vari paZBC vachida kuzama by all means kuti vashaise mukana kuti vanhu vakampene.
Ndozviri kuitika sekuru, because zvaitondinetsa kuti sei Chamisa asingaonekwiwo paTV. Zvaigara zvichitondinetsa ipapo. Ndo mafambira zviri kuita.
Ndo zvavanoita manje. Avamupi mukana. kana vamushandisa mukana ivo vachiramba vari paTV pozobudai tinoti propaganda kuti ivo vachibuda paipai vanenge vakuzotaura manyepo vachiziva kuti haukwanisi kuzobuda kuzvidhifenda nokuti havakupi mukana wacho kuti utaure. Iye zvoti kuti kana kuno vachamisa vachita chimwe chinhu chine mukurumbira kana kuti chine mutsindo tinototamira kuti kuchannel 404 yapo here tione vachamisa paSABC. Izvozvo manje ndizvo zvatiri kuti ZANU-PF haidi kuti vanhu veCCC zvakanaka zvavanoita zvionekwe paTV apa. Saka isi totozomirira kuti 404 yakwana here time tionewo president vachamisa vachitaura. Zvino izvo ndizvo zvatiri kuti no, kana ZBC vachibhadharwa nepaid yedu isusu dzetaxis yedziye zvinofanira kuti vakavhe mapolitical parties ese.
So mukana uyu tingautora sei sekuru nokuti vachamisa vanofanira kutaurawo paTV asi tiri kushaya mukana sezvamuri kutaura sekuru. Indaifunga kuti pfungwa dzangu dzaiti kuti ndezve ZANU-PF, ZBC ndeye ZANU-PF, ndasingazi ndeyedu tose.
Zvino kungwara akungwarirwani uyezve kungwara kunoguma ndosaka toona iye zvino takushandisawo tane edu takutepfenyurawo pachedu tane maradio stations eduwo wakaona zvakaita hope ching'ono wakadobvarura chokwadi uko kutoti vanhu vazvione kuno kuAfrica kwedu totoona paSABC ndopotoona vaching'ono vari bhizi vari kutaura paZBC havapwi mukana. Saka isusu manje media yakushanda
hanzi radio manyepo. But isusu tinokupa muri vateereri haiwa isusu paChange Radio tinokupai nhau dziri transparent dziri fair tichipa mativi ese mukana wekuti vanozvitaurira vachizvibhirira tichiwana balanced view paradio station yenyu Change Radio. Saka garai makateerera Change Radio inokupai nyaya dzese dziri pamusoro dzinenge dziri fair mativi ese achiinterviewa achiwanawo mukana wekutaura zvavo kuti zvii zviri kuitika chaizvo chaizvo. Ende garai neChange Radio kana muchida kuziva kuti chii chiri kuitika pamusoro paCCC tinokupai dzese dzichangopakurwa dzichangopurwa muchizvinzwira mega muri paChange Radio in the comfort of your homes.
And just to add on to that, I think our listeners would love to hear that we are now having news in Tonga. We started, broadcasting news in Tonga, and right now, as we are speaking, we are putting together a Tonga team, a Tonga news team, Shangani. So those are in Chiredzi down there. You'll be able to have your own broadcast in Sitsonga or Shangani language. We'll begin that next week. So please support Change Radio. There's a link that will be sent on the Change Radio platform. You can jump on there and support us.
Yes. Right, the big news of the night, the finals that were played. I have a name of BP until I want to tell you who kuti BP dzidzikire mbichana. Chinzwe ichi chaitika nhasi vanga vachiona bhora. Zvamira sei zvapera sei hanzi 3-2 but handisi kuziva kuti ndiani awina ndiani aita sei ipapa.
Yeah. I know kuti vamwe vakupinda magumbeze nebhutsu ana masiye anani. But Manchester City won their fourth championship trophy, Premier League championship trophy under Guardiola. I'm not a Manchester City supporter myself, so on behalf of Chelsea Football Club, I would like to congratulate Manchester City for winning their Premiership, championship. I was not supporting anyone, so today I didn't have any high blood pressure or anything because I didn't care whether Liverpool won it, I didn't care whether Man City won it, but at the end of the day, we just say in the name of sportsmanship, congratulations to Man City because they managed to win the championship, peeping Liverpool by just 1 point. Is the most exciting championship that I've ever witnessed. That was fought to the last minute. That was only decided in the last 15 minutes, of championship day program. if Liverpool had won and Manchester City had drawn or lost, Liverpool would have won the title. But fortunate enough, Man City won, Liverpool also won, but they were just beaten by 1 point, just 1 point to the title. So it was really exciting. I know Mr. Bina would want to come in on that one.
Thank you very much, Chief. Yeah, me, I'm an Arsenal fan. It was not a good day for us.
Sorry.
We are in trouble. I don't know what we can do for. It's so disappointing. Anyway, I want to just say congratulations to Man City. They played well, and they actually made history. They were losing 2-0 even after in the second half, only for them to score 3 in 6 minutes. So it is an achievement and also for Pep. It's his 4th title in 5 years. So I think his record is actually setting the bar so high for everyone else. So congratulations to Man City and to the fans. Enjoy your time. Hopefully next year it will be Arsenal.
I don't know what DJ Prof. Well, DJ Prof is one of White Mano's neighbors.
Yes. Gataure initudze vateri football. Hatinoda kutaura vanhu soka, tinoda kutaura vanhu football. I like the fact that Mr. Dina, you just say let's hope next year it's Arsenal and you laugh after that because you know what it means. But before I went further, I just want to say congratulations to Manchester City, our neighbors. We share the same city with them. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean. We finished the season with a loss to lowly rated Crystal Palace today, which is not a good thing. And this was our worst season as Manchester United. I know Champion Sophia, earlier on you said Manchester United won, and I'm like, Sister Sophia, what did I say?
I want to for next year.
Congratulations to Manchester, specifically to Pep Guardiola, because you know in 6 years, actually in 5 years, he's got 4 titles, which means he only lost once. But he's good at that. Remember, Chief, you can testify this. Remember in 2013, he snaked again the cup from Manchester United on the last minute with Aguero goal. And it was against Crystal Palace again that we played today. It seems like that season is repeated, and they're always snatching. So you know for sure that if you go to the line or to the wire with Manchester City, you are prepared to shed your tears, and that's what exactly happens today. And I think I would be not doing justice to the fans and everyone if I'm not going to say Saturday there's a big game, Champions League final, Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Andifambi neLiverpool pakadai so guys, ndinotaura chokwadi ndiri kuMadrid, so ndiye ngezvenyu ndabuda. Bye bye, peace.
Sorry, I wanted to correct you there. It was Roberto Mancini who was the coach for City when they won with Aguero in the last minute. It was Roberto.
Yes, I meant the team, not yes. I was not yet there by that time, but the team won that.
Yes, but already we are rivals. I'm going with Liverpool. It's very unfortunate we are rivals. I'm going with Liverpool.
We should actually have a program next week on Saturday just to analyze the Madrid-Liverpool game.
Definitely. I really change radio commentary. I think it could be. But again, let's cut this short, guys. It's been really lovely. We'll go out in a comment. Yeah, God wishes.
Just a minute there. There's a request here by a listener. We're saying they want to hear the Simbachi Kanza and Mai Mnangagwa interview again. I've sent it to Estella. We can close our program with that. I don't know how Simba does it, but he just finds a way of getting through to these ZANU-PF people and embarrass them in the way. So, Estella, if you can play us that interview that I just sent you, where Mai Mnangagwa was having a video call with Simbachi Kanza in her house.
But this is, this is quite embarrassing. Where in the world have you ever seen a first lady stoop that low?
Yes.
It's very embarrassing for us as a nation. Zimbabwe because of what people have seen. I think it's my time. These people have shown the door out of State House. Come 2023, we need change. We need to deliver Zimbabwe for change, and we need a great new Zimbabwe. A great new Zimbabwe. Our first lady, I think like that. I mean, especially for us as women, as Zimbabwean women, we are measured against my actions, and it's very, very embarrassing.
So what do you expect from Shake building?
Sorry, Mr. Dina.
I said, what do you expect from Shake building?
So while Estella is preparing the video, I want to just respond to Mr. Msikavani. He posted a statement earlier. We didn't get a chance to read comments there today, but I want to respond to the one that he was saying, Pomona chaiye. And just tell people that there's another ZANU-PF prodigy that started his own party that is called Ngapinda Hake Mkomana. The desperation. I mean, I've never seen such desperation that they're, following everything that Triple C is doing, including our slogans. Now they've taken our slogan, not even a slogan, it's just a chant, by people that are citizens are just saying, and now they've made it into a political party. But it's not Batangora Pachiti, Ngapinda Hake Chamisa. You are cheating Ngapinda Hake Mkomana iri party, saying Chiti, Ngapinda Hake Chamisa.
After all, Ngapinda Hake Mkomana yakatanga army barracks. If the truth be told. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been wonderful. Mr. Dina, Advocate Masie, Nangandina, DJ Prof, Champion Estella, Mwenewajo, Chief Soshe, for myself, Sophia Tekwani. Thank you so much. Tona and again next week, same time, same place. Have a good night. Stay tuned to Change Radio. Have a good night.
Yes, you can play us out the interview from Mai Mnangagwa. Enjoy that. There's no volume. You might have to replay it. There's no volume.
Let me replay.
Police on Thursday to take them to your...
takatomirira ndoziva Zimbabwe yese yakamirira audio video iyoyo vanhu vari kuibvunza.
No volume again. Don't worry, we'll get it right.
Remember, I will play it from my phone. Monsgov audio from my phone, but you should play it on the thingy. It's not volume like that.
Okay.
used soldiers, CIOs, and riot police on Thursday to take them to your own people in Chweshe so that you can impose.
Yeah, Mrs. Succeeding Mnangagwa, I'm a sympathy.
you impose an armed robber so that he takes over the Nkomo chieftainship. I am seeking your urgent response following this. And as you know, clearly this is a crime under Zimbabwean law for you to do this. I hope you shall respond at your earliest opportunity in the public interest and also pursuant to the laws of Zimbabwe, the charters that Zimbabwe signed with international bodies such as SADC, the African Union. What you did will require an immediate and urgent response and a statement to the public as well. So, Ms. Mnangagwa, I sent you this audio. So continue to call you after which I'll disengage should you choose then to keep quiet. But I've called you right now in the public, and people, our subscribers around the world, in the country are also seeing this, that I have done this, and as this is also part of our fact-checking process, also giving you the right of reply.
And I didn't even go to my soldier. I never even did. And I got to go back home. And I allowed them to participate. Then go to the area. Was in those zinga. But never know what chickens are manango. I Mama, Tarisaya. Mama Tarisaya, number young week and I'm up on Mapa on a monster. Monduza. Mama dance wise.
Mambo, bonde, pano handradzi yenyu iri kutudza kuti iye haana kana kumbounza masoja nemapurisa kumusha kwenyu sekuripota kwatakaita gore rapera irero. Munoti chiina ipapo? What do you say about this? She says that it's not true.
Aiwa, ichokwadi because pavakauya pavakati tiite meeting umambo iyo pakauya masoja right nemasoja nesecurity vaba nesecurity force chaichaya iripo riot vangu vakatowanda vanopfeka netsvimbo nevamwe vangu vakatobata futi.
But she is saying she was back seat. Iye ari kuti ndanga ndiripo ndakanyarara handina kukomanda masoja.
Zvekuti vakakomanda masoja isusu kwete kuti vanga vari kuback seat but izvo vaitaura vachitaura kuti umambo ndehwavo vari kuutora. Isusu tikati kuvari kutora sei kumusha kwavo kwacho tateguru wavo vagara kaviri isuve kwakonda kana kugara vakabva vari kutipomera kuti isusu hazvipeni chavasingazive chavasina kutitaura chipini chaimodedi chei ndivo vaitaura.
Pane here vamwe varipo nogona kupupura saizvozvo vachiratidza umbowo vakadaro.
Rekaita kutazi vamwe kandokusenderai nhamba dzevamwe vovaita vhiwawo kuti vakanga varipo.
Ndatenda zvikuru sa.
Oh, yapera. Chita Baba, my viewers and listeners, DJ Prof. Thank you, viewers and listeners, for joining us. We wish you a blessed week ahead. Thank you. Bye-bye.